I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Happy Friday! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world today. Thank you for tuning in. And if you saw my overlay, you will have seen a nod towards our sponsors, and I'd like to acknowledge them quickly. So thank you so much to our friends at Island Spices, a restaurant located in Toronto, who is really the provider of delicious island food. Thank you also to our friends at Kindness Inspired. And if you have a look at this image at the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see me. And that's because I am a kindness incorporator and a very proud one at that. So thank you again for being here. Let me introduce myself. My name is Inga, and I am recognized as a networking ninja. The reason why is because I teach others how to network in just 12 minutes a day. How do I do that? You may be wondering. So I encourage you, if you and I are not connected, please connect with me and reach out and ask about my 12-minute process. I'm so excited to be able to highlight a dear friend of mine. There are no words that I can really use to describe him. He is amazing or awesome, like my friend Russ Hedge would say. And so I'd like to introduce him to you later on. But just quickly, if you were watching my intro video, you will have seen a word that is not very well known to this Western world. And that word is Ubuntu. So if you don't know what that word means, let me tell you. Ubuntu is an ancient African word, and it means humanity to others. It's often described as reminding us that I am what I am because of who we all are. Now, Ubuntu is one of my pillars upon which I base my very existence. And the reason for that is because I believe that I am the result of everyone that I have encountered in my life, as well as all the experiences that I've had in my life's journey. So if you are watching live, I'd like to remind you of the connection that Ubuntu has to our actual topic today, which is the power of networking. So, what is networking? Networking is the action or process of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. So I truly believe that I am who I am because of Ubuntu and because of the community around me. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you're here, if you're watching live, please drop us a comment. Let us know who you are if you're on YouTube, and let us know where you're tuning in from. And without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to my friend Calvin. Good
Hello.
morning.
Hello, Inga.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome now that I'm on.
Woo! I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing to be my guest.
Well, thank you for inviting me. And I think I said earlier before to you, but I'll say it with the audience intact. And that is, I am so grateful and humbled that I am your guest today.
I'm humbled that you agreed to be here. I'm honestly, when I think of you, I'm in awe because I think about how you are consistent and in terms of networking. You are a great networker, and that's why you're here. You're a great friend. And the comments are blowing up. But before we go to them and acknowledge the people that are in the audience, won't you please introduce yourself to us? Tell us who you are, what you do. Um, Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Inga, I'm Calvin Lawrence. I am an independent consultant now and a motivational speaker. And sometimes I reverse those, motivational speaker, independent consultant. And I've been in education all my life. And this is a segment of my life now where I really want to do more and give back more and be more in terms of being able to help other people. So I'm really excited about this phase of my life. I won't even call it the last phase because that sounds like I'm getting toward the end, and I feel like I have a whole lot more life left in me. But it is a great phase, and I have met some of the greatest people during this time, and I know there's more to come.
Amazing. I love that. And I will say, yes, people think that the pandemic has really had a negative effect on
Yes.
the world. And yes, it has to a certain extent, but it has also propelled us into networking virtually. And what that means is just wherever we are, we can connect with one another,
I
right?
believe.
It's crazy to think, but we're not in the same city, we're not in the same room, we're not anywhere close to one another, but yet there you are on my screen,
Right.
and you and I can have a conversation.
It's outstanding, and I echo your same sentiments with that, Inga, because the pandemic itself, COVID itself, was not a great thing, but the opportunities to help and provide and to share with people that have come about because of it. Oh
Yes.
man, I can't imagine, and it's really accelerated how we do business this way and how we interact with people and network with people because we need each other. And I know we're going to get into that. We need people to help each other to get to the place that we need to be the best persons that we can be.
Yes.
Yes,
And you know what, like, if anything happens to this live stream and that's all we said, that would have been
that's
enough.
it. That would be a lesson in itself. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, we have a lot of comments, so let us go. I'm gonna start at the beginning. Oh, look who it is. Go ahead and read
Uh-oh.
this comment. Can
Oh
you
my
read?
goodness. So I see one from Michelle Quick, and she says, sending a lot of love to us both. I will try to be on as much as I can. I think, it's funny because we got Michelle. I know we got others that are mutual friends of you and I. And
Yes.
I don't know. I have to go back in my memory banks to remember if I met you through Michelle or vice versa. But that's what networking, that's the power of networking. That's it.
Yes, yes. I met you through Michelle.
Yes. Okay.
She
Okay.
tagged you in a post, and that's how I ended up
Right.
connecting with you.
Right.
Um, so morning, Michelle, and good morning, Dorothy. Oh, Dorothy is another amazing person. I actually, she was on my show last week as my guest,
Mhm.
and she brought so much value for everyone. And if you're not connected to her, please do. Please do.
Gotcha.
I know you've been taking notes.
Hey,
Go
but when as we start talking about the networking, and this is what's happened to me, Inga, in over the course of even beyond the pandemic, but particularly these last couple of years, that if I've been a part of something like this, whether it was a group meeting in the morning or virtual coffee or whatever, and I met amazing people, and that's the way you do it. And then you meet the people who know those people. but that's your networking web. And it's just a natural, as my friend of mine would say, it's organic. It just happens that way. And then you just align and that's it. And you let it go from there.
Exactly. So good morning, Dorothy. Thank you for being here. Amazing to see you on my screen. And last week, Friday, was awesome. Um, we'll talk soon. And good morning to my friend Russ. Have you met him
I
yet,
have not
Calvin?
met Russ.
So, oh, and let me just mention Dorothy has written a book.
Okay.
It's called The Overcomer.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yes.
Um, and she hosts her own show, which is called Unstoppable Overcomers.
Awesome.
So she's awesome. And then we have Russ Hedge. Russ Hedge is he's my friend and he's amazing too. He also has his own show.
Uh-huh.
Well, a few shows actually, right, Russ? And he's written a book as well. So awesome
Encouraging.
people.
Awesome.
I'm so excited to be able for them to be able to meet you too.
Awesome.
Michelle says we and let's rock this room.
Let's
Oh my
rock.
god.
Let's rock it. Let's do it. We'll
Yes.
we'll
And
do it.
Michelle was also a guest on my show
Yes.
previously in January and oh my
Oh
gosh,
my goodness.
when I think about the stories that she told, oh my gosh,
Yes. Yes. Oh,
amazing.
she's an awesome storyteller. I need more instruction from Michelle on how to tell the story just perfectly, because she'll pause at a perfect time, and then she'll hit you with the point that will grip you or make you gravitate toward it. She's perfect when it comes
She
to that.
has.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you know, she's had her story, just a brief synopsis of her life story actually published in a magazine.
I don't know that she shared that
I'm
with
gonna-
me. I'm gonna have to get her. I'm gonna have to get on her to her for that. But yes, wow.
Yes, Michelle, you need to share that with us, please. And then I have my friend Jonathan McDonald.
Okay.
He's tuning in from the UK. Thank you, Jonathan, for being here. He's another amazing person, and he
Awesome.
will be he will be a guest on my show coming up soon.
Awesome.
I'm going to, since we have so many comments, I'm just going
Yes.
to be acknowledging individuals. I know some people do more than one comment, but I want to make sure that we get to the conversation that's
Okay.
going to be
All right. I'm
that will
excited.
be so pertinent for them to learn from you and how you do networking, right? So
Awesome.
thank you everyone for your amazing comments. Happy Friday to my friend Katie. Katie McDermott is awesome.
Awesome.
She speaks about she's really a supporter for manufacturing, especially
Okay.
in the US. Amazing person, amazing connection to have. So definitely have a look at her as well, and let's acknowledge your friend.
Melinda Hub. Hello from Seattle.
Hello, Melinda.
Hello,
Thank you for
Melinda.
tuning in. Nice to see you here. And hello, Prachi. She's tuning in from India. Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you for being here, Prachi. Oh my gosh. She says meaningful networking.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And Michelle is just blowing up the comments. She says, you are the best, Calvin. You are the best.
Oh my goodness.
Russ is telling me that I'm so awesome on video. Well, I will say, like, I really do hate video.
Mhm.
Full disclosure, but that's life. Oh, someone commented that they don't have sound, that they're working
Sound working
on
on
it.
it. Okay. They're working on it. Okay.
And I apologize. It's not picking up your name. So if you can
Oh.
drop us your name as well, LinkedIn user, let
Mhm.
us know. And Jonathan Kimbrough is tuning
Okay.
in from the US. Um,
Great.
he is the founder of the Institute for Resilience.
Awesome.
Amazing, amazing. He
Awesome.
he founded that during the pandemic and he brought together a huge community of people. So Happy to see you here. Thank you, Jonathan. If you're still watching, thank you for tuning in. And then I have my friend. Her name is Cecilia Less, and she's tuning in from Cape Town, South Africa. That's why she says good afternoon.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you. She goes by Lady C, and she is the host of her own radio show.
Oh,
So awesome to see
great,
you. Thank you for being here, Lady C, and definitely spirit led as well.
great.
Someone says they're tuning in from the UK. Could you
Okay.
please let us know your name again? I think it's maybe the same person, but I'm
It
not
could
certain.
be, right, right.
And Melinda is cheering for you, by
Melinda,
the way.
yes.
And Jonathan says, watching from the land of tea and
Tea
crumpets.
and crumpets.
I feel like I should say that in an accent, but I'm not really good at it, so I will. I'm good at my own accent, which is a hybrid between South African and Canadian.
Yes, and Canadian, right? You have this great mix. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. My brothers often tease me about it because they say I've lost my accent. And then Linda Simpson.
Linda Simpson. I know Linda. Yes. Great. Hello from Alberta.
Linda. Thank you for tuning in from Alberta.
Alberta, right.
Awesome. Another fellow Canadian. Thank you for being here. She says, Calvin's smile lights up the room.
It's so awesome. Great supporter.
I know I said I'm going to be only acknowledging.
You're going through that list.
But I just want to highlight this comment from Michelle.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yes,
this Michelle.
Melinda says, yes, and giving us the opportunity to meet people we wouldn't normally meet. I think she's thinking about the pandemic. You're so right. Oh my God. And I lost my place. What? Okay, I got it. Oh my gosh. Katie says, with change comes possibilities.
Beautiful. Yes. Very good.
Michelle says Calvin takes notes.
I always do. That's if I'm quiet, because I'm bad at doing multiple things at one time. So if I get quiet, it's because I'm taking the notes down or getting names or whatever. So yeah, she knows me too well.
But it's good because you're processing.
Yes.
And you're learning at the same time.
Yes.
Right? And for somebody that's in education, learning is the foundation of life, really.
It is. That's right.
And hello to you, Raven. Raven is tuning in from South Africa. She's my niece. She's 14 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Almost 14.
She's gonna be a great woman, young woman like her aunt.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
And we have Guy Vuningoma. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from, Guy. Thank you.
Right.
Oh my gosh. This is Gail Robertson. Gail is, oh my gosh, she's a powerhouse. And she really makes an impact, just like the red hair suggests.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. She's got it. And she is the chief curiosity officer. So she's got to be a powerful person.
I often speak about like how Ubuntu has impacted my life, and what it is actually is I look at the people around me and I see characteristics or things that they've done, and I strive to emulate that.
Yes.
I've learned so much from the people that are in my community, and Gail, I have to say, since you highlighted the fact that her title is Chief Curiosity Officer, she really is the most curious person I've ever met.
Well, that is how you learn. And when you work with children, and if they're curious, and there's certain people that don't like, they'll say the old term curiosity killed the cat and crazy stuff like that. And instead of nurturing the curiosity, because curiosity is how you learn about things and how you can make good decisions. And so I love it. I love it.
Yes, she actually she will tell you the origin of that phrase.
Oh my
And
goodness. Oh, I need Gail. We gotta meet. We gotta meet.
yes, and she lives by
Uh-huh.
a quote that is by Walt Whitman, which
Okay.
goes like this: "Be curious, not judgmental."
Yes. Awesome. Awesome.
And she says, let me just read her comment. It says, "Networking web, great description. I also talk about weak ties and strong ties as part of a social network. And yes, it is indeed a web."
Yes. Yes.
So awesome. And oh my gosh, this guy here, this is someone you need to meet. Actually, I believe
Okay.
the two of you will. Danrich Sananda, he is amazing. An
Awesome.
amazing friend and brother to me. I met
Inga,
him
Inga,
networking.
where is he from? Where is he from?
That's so. He's from India.
Okay.
He lived in Dubai for 15 years,
Uh-huh.
and now he lives in Toronto.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So thank you for being here, Denrich. Awesome to have you. Um, Melinda says, "Love the energy of both of you." I know. Like, I hope nothing happens to the stream because we have so much energy.
Right. Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's acknowledge. So, Nadir Ul Qasser says, "Hello, lovely people. Thank you, Nadir, for being here.
Thank you,
Awesome
Nadir.
to see you." And yeah, this is your friend.
Oh, T.E. Teresa Etherly. And I love her highlights. Her, her
Beautiful.
beautiful hair. Yes. Yes.
She and I remember she actually said that it's gonna be really early for
It's
her.
early for her, right? She's more of a night owl. So this is early for her. So I'm thankful and very grateful she is appearing.
Yes, thank you for being here, Teresa. Awesome to have you. Teresa is my mom's name, actually.
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Thank you. And we have Michelle Hall.
Michelle
She
Hall.
said, "Good afternoon and greetings from Cape Town." Good afternoon, Michelle.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Awesome.
being here. Nice to see you. And if you don't know this, anybody that's watching, I was born in Cape Town,
Yes.
and
Yes.
the majority of my family is still
Mhm.
there,
Yes.
including my two brothers. And I just came back from vacation in South Africa, in Cape Town, actually. And I want
Wow.
to go back.
Inga, you're living your best life and you have the best of both worlds, the East and the West. So I love it.
By God's grace. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
And Michelle says, Frank says
Frank
hi.
says hi.
Hello,
Frank,
Frank. Melinda is saying,
agree
agree
with
with Linda.
Melinda.
That's
My
beautiful.
goodness.
Oh my
They're so
gosh.
great.
Yes, everybody's commenting on your smile. I'm
They're
not
so,
sure if
they're
you see
so great. They're so great. I got to keep going to my dentist and give him those compliments as well. Because I don't know that my smile is that great, but I'm always excited with people.
I think the most important thing about a smile is that it exudes warmth
Yes. Yes.
and welcomes people, right?
Yes. Yes. I agree.
And here, LinkedIn user says, Joe
Joe
and
and
Cherry.
Cherry from Leading Hearts and Minds are tuning in. Yes.
Thank you for being here, Joe and Cherry. Awesome to see you. Um, Melanie Jacobs
Melanie
is
Jacobs. From
saying good
Cape Town.
afternoon from Cape Town, BBC. Some of these people I haven't met yet, like,
Yes. But
had a
you
call.
will. You will. Yes.
Yes, please, if you're tuned in and we haven't connected, we haven't spoken with each other on a Zoom meeting, please reach out to me and let's do that.
Yes.
And this is Samantha Martin. She's called Smiley because she has a beautiful smile too.
Oh, okay. We need to see that smile.
I just recently actually I saw, so I'm part of this group where she is as well, and
Yeah.
she celebrated her wedding anniversary, and somebody shared her wedding picture, and they
Mhm.
said, "Oh my gosh, what a Colgate smile!" So congratulations on your anniversary, Samantha, and thank you for being here.
Congratulations.
Oh my gosh,
And just
Justice Tree. He says, when you fall 6 times, you should stand up seven
Stand up
times.
7. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
sir. Yes.
And here, Gail is telling you, and
Gail
it
is
was
saying everything.
worry, not curiosity. Gail.
Curiosity, the killer cat. She's good. I already love
Yes.
this lady. Yes. Great.
She is awesome. Yeah.
Great.
Oh, Michelle says you make me
Me,
cry.
me cry. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Okay.
let's
All right.
get through this. So here's
Yes.
somebody else, LinkedIn user.
Okay.
Oh, Parul Rai. Oh
Haru.
wow. Thank you for tuning
Yes.
in. She says she's from India. Parul,
Yes. Haru.
thank you for being here. Awesome to see you. I've seen you in the comments on my posts. So thank you for being here and tuning in. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Oh, and there's some I love to see, for me, the biggest thing during my show is seeing how others are greeting one another.
Each other. Yes, I do. I love that too. I love that
Yes.
too. Hey, Inga, this is what I do, and I'm glad well, I'm humbled by being the interviewee today. But normally, if I'm visiting a show, I am the guy who's in the chat like crazy. So maybe I've reaped that reward today. I hope I do, because if it means that other people are networking together right now while we're doing this and they're having a good time, then that's more power to them.
Yes, and if you are watching live and you're especially on LinkedIn, please connect with one another.
Yes. Yes.
Um, Otherwise, I don't just want you to be here listening to us chat. This is a conversation
Yes.
between all of us, and I love to see people connecting with one another. So
Mhm.
great to see that. And we're done with the comments for now.
Greatly. Awesome.
So let's take this back a little bit.
Okay.
This show is called Inspiration from Inga. And I'd like to know, let's go to the questions, okay? My first question for
Okay.
you is this. What inspires you, Calvin?
Well, we've alluded to a little bit of that, and I love the word. Is it Ubuntu?
Ubuntu. Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
Yeah.
So, and I have it written down, and I want to study the word because it really
Mm,
encapsulates really maybe what I believe myself as
mm,
well. I
mm.
never knew it, but I know it now, and that
Awesome.
is that I'm inspired by other people, and really most inspired when other people have had to overcome difficulties. Who
Mm,
was the young man who said something about you get knocked down 6 times, you stand up 7, and that's kind of it in a gist. And I'll give you a short story. When I was younger and I needed inspiration, I would always look to athletes who had to overcome something much greater than themselves. And one in particular was an athlete who had one leg, but yet on the one leg, he learned how to high jump and play football, American football, and do all these other great things. And it made me think, oh, I can't stay in the bed. I can't be lazy. This young man is doing this. I have to do what I have to do. So I'm always inspired by people who overcome great challenges. And usually their challenges is much greater than mine. I have another story too about a guy I saw on TV not too long ago, and that's his challenge is even greater than the young man with the one leg. But overcoming challenges at any age, whether they're young, old, or my age, I'm putting myself in the middle group, is that inspires me, that motivates me, that encourages me to keep going.
that's awesome. Let me share a little something small that I don't often share about myself.
Yes.
I was born with congenital hip dysplasia in both of my hips.
Yes.
Um, but and as a result of that, I limped,
Mhm.
and many times actually when I was a kid, I wasn't chosen.
Mm-hmm.
to be part
Mm-hmm.
of a team,
Right.
right? Because I didn't really run,
Right.
but I overcome that, right? I have overcome that,
Yes. Right.
and what I how I can say that is because despite that, I went on to really embrace
Mm-hmm.
water sport,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I represented my province with swimming, synchronized swimming, water polo, and underwater hockey.
Right.
And I know some people would never have heard of underwater hockey. Yes, it is a thing, you know. But the point is, we are um,
Yes.
all have resilience built in.
Yes. Right.
We just need to take hold of it
Right.
and
Right.
use that to overcome the obstacles that we face.
Amen. And your story is that story is kind of like the book of your friend Dorothy Ann. It's like the overcomer. You when you overcome these things, you find a way. You find a way to find a way. And
Yes,
the people who are resilient, and you use that word, resilient, find a way to find a way. I love those stories, and I love seeing people overcome obstacles because we all have obstacles.
we all do. We all
Right.
do. And, sometimes when you're facing an obstacle, it feels extremely overwhelming.
Yes.
But the main thing that we need to do is actually shift our focus away
Yes.
from that that
Yeah.
thing that's overwhelming us.
Right. Right.
I have a friend. His name is Alex Chambers, and he's a psychology enthusiast. And he spoke about something that is so pertinent. It's a psychology phrase, which goes, I believe it's mood congruent memories. And what that is when you experience something negative,
Right.
your brain is triggered by it and you remember other negative
New
things.
things.
And when you focus so much on those
Mhm.
negative things,
Mhm.
it makes it seem bigger than what it actually is.
Yes.
And
Agree.
I often speak about this in terms of focus. So before I heard what he said, you know, I've spoken about this before where I say, if you have a light in front of you,
Mhm.
everybody who's watching this, please, you can go ahead and do this while we're talking. But if you have a light in front of you, raise your hand and
Mhm.
cover the light
And cover the light. Uh-huh.
so that you're looking at your hand instead of the light,
Right. Right. Right.
right? And what happens when you're focusing on the darkness or the negativity, which is your hand, right? In this exercise,
Right.
you feel as if the light is diminished and the
Yes.
darkness is
Right.
it's getting bigger, right?
I
But
agree.
and also you feel almost like the light is no longer there.
Yes.
But if you shift your focus away from that darkness, away from that negativity, and focus more on the light, it seems to grow,
Right.
right? And that's why practicing gratitude is so important.
Yes.
Because when you practice gratitude and you focus on the things that you are grateful for, the things that you are thankful for, what
Mhm.
happens? You become more thankful,
Right.
become more grateful. And it's not
Mhm.
necessarily that you have more things that are happening to you to be grateful for. It's just that now you're looking at life through those gratitude lenses, right?
Right. Yes. Oh,
And
great. Great
that's
word.
the important thing. I want to see if I have it. I had a book actually. No, I moved it, but I have a book that I just recently bought
Uh-huh.
online. I was I don't even know why I ended up finding it, but I found it on Amazon and it is a gratitude journal.
Wow.
And I know
Yeah.
that, you can just take a regular book if you want
Right. Right.
and start listing things that you are grateful for every day. And when you get into that gratitude practice, when you start doing, and it doesn't have to be a lot of things,
Mhm.
you can just start every day with listing 3 things that you're grateful for. And you'll see that even though, like, even if you're in a dire situation and and you're going through something, listing those three things will become something that will start taking over your mind, and you
Right.
will focus more on being grateful than
And then
focusing on
the
negative.
focusing on the negative or the obstacle that you have to face. Inga, I don't know if this matches what you just said, but as soon as you started talking about
Mhm.
this situation, I started thinking about David and Goliath, and I haven't shared much of my faith yet, but I know
Mhm.
in this conversation we're going to have part of that comes out.
Mhm.
How am I inspired? Faith inspires me, but I think about the story of David and Goliath when I think about this, and I never thought about the gratitude that he had before, but he didn't look at the obstacle, which was Goliath, which was huge. And if he just focuses on that, I don't know if he comes out the winner. In fact, I'm almost certain he doesn't. He focuses on the victories and the gratitude that he had for the victories and the faith that he had
Yeah.
before. And even his words always went to that. So he focused on that and not on the size of the obstacle that he had to face. And then he took the giant down. And I think that's the same way you're saying is the
Mm.
way we have to look at things, and we focus on the issue, it
Yes.
will become super huge and uh, uh,
Overwhelming.
overwhelming. That's the
Yeah.
word. But if we focus on the gratitude and the faith that we have and the abilities that we and most of us have had victories that we've already uh, have overcome too. If we remember those victories and we
Yeah.
remember who brought us through, then we get to this other thing and it'll be just like those other things. And that's what David said. So anyway, that's
Yeah.
my short story long.
But you said something so pertinent there. We all have had obstacles that we faced, right?
Yes, yes,
But if we forget about the obstacles we faced and overcame,
yes,
we think that the following obstacle
right,
is too much and we
right,
can't handle it. But we
right.
need to remember who we are.
Yes, yes. It's about remembering who we are.
Yes.
Yes,
Mindset is so
beautiful,
important, right?
beautiful. Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Question number two.
Where are we at? Where are we at?
Question number two. I like to ask this question because it just gives me a little insight into who you are as a
Mhm,
person.
mhm.
So, Calvin, can you tell us who is or was your role model growing up?
Well, I think I can quickly to share this one, hopefully.
Sure.
And of course, my parents who were always there for me were like the first ones. But when I think outside of my home, there are two teachers that come to mind. And here I am, an educator again, and teachers really impacted me. One was a teacher coach, the other
Wow.
one was a teacher, and one, the female, impacted me when I was in elementary school. The older other gentleman impacted me when I was in high school. So at two levels of my life, I had these people that were just amazing, and they did amazing things even outside the classroom that I didn't even know about. But to have people like that in your life, and again, it goes back to our networking, is that we can't do this thing alone. We have to have people to help us, and we help other people. And they were those types that they went beyond the minimum. I think we're all, if I have a challenge today that I would challenge anyone, maybe I'm jumping myself, but the challenge would be, can you go beyond the normal? Can you go beyond the what is required? Can you go beyond that? Because that's what they did for me. They went beyond it. Hey, I'll give two quick stories and I'll be in and out. That she would take us on trips. And I know now that it wasn't the school, but it was the teacher. And talking about the elementary school teacher to give me this sense of who I was and the history in Virginia, which was huge, but we could get to almost everything. And it was because of her. And
Wow.
then the gentleman who was my coach, who almost was like a big brother to me because he wasn't that old. Now I know he wasn't that much older than me, and he would take me. He took me to visit colleges. when
Yeah.
my parents couldn't do it. And just was a great role model. He had other great things that I keep saying, could I ever step into his shoes? Maybe halfway, but I had the only way I can repay him, and he's gone now, would be
Mm.
to pay it forward. So it's that kind of impact.
And it's so important to pay it forward, right?
Yes, yes,
And
yeah,
I believe, when we are doing anything, we need to do it with our whole heart.
yes, yes,
It doesn't matter what it is, even if you're cleaning the street,
yes.
do
Oh,
it with your
oh,
whole heart.
Inga, when you say that, I think about this networking thing. So it's like we talk about being authentic and genuine with people, but when you do things with your whole heart,
The impact, right?
yes. And I don't know that I always do that.
Hmm. I don't know. I've lost you, Calvin. I'm not sure if
Ooh,
anyone
yeah.
can. Sorry, I lost you
I
for a
bet you
second.
lost me for a second. Maybe it
Yeah.
was because I went into this thing. But when we do it with our whole heart, I think people realize that they realize it's not about getting a job or getting
Yes.
something from us, but they know who we are,
Yes.
our real heart.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That's beautiful, and we need to do that when we're connecting with others.
Yes.
I Let me tell you quickly. There's something called a pitch slap. I'm not sure if you know what.
I know exactly what it is. Uh,
So if you're watching and you don't know what a pitch slap is, it's when someone connects with you,
right,
and then
right,
in your DMs, once they're connected, they just start
right.
um how do I say, pitching you to so that you can do business together or you can give them a job.
Yes.
And it happens to me a lot.
Mhm.
But I realized something one day. I realized that, you know what? Sometimes
Yeah.
it's not that they mean to do that,
Right.
but because when you know better, you do better.
Yes. True.
And I've actually met with a few people, um, because I would say to them, I'm sorry, but I'm not interested.
Yes.
And then so
And then
and keep getting messages. And I said, I'm like, I don't mean to be rude, but
rude.
how
Right.
is it working for you? If you keep just bombarding people with these messages.
Right.
And one guy, I'll tell you quickly, one guy told me, um, if he didn't receive a response from me, he would send me a row of question marks.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness.
And I found myself getting offended.
Yes.
I thought, what the heck? Like, why do you keep
Why
doing
would you
this?
do that? Right.
And I responded to him and I said, actually, do you know that I don't know about your culture, but in my culture, that's
Yes.
rude.
Yes.
And he said, nobody's ever told me that.
Mhm.
I didn't know. And then he asked me if I would be willing to meet with him and talk.
Mhm.
And it wasn't about getting a job or selling me something, but I met him and I spoke to him a little bit about the etiquette of LinkedIn.
Yes. Yes.
And he was so grateful to me.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
And and I gave him like a few pointers,
Right.
because, first of all, he didn't have a picture on
Right.
his LinkedIn. And that's one of the things that, people don't trust you if they don't see who you are.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the other thing was his name wasn't like spelled out. It was like initials
Mhm.
plus a name somewhere in between. And I said, look, like these are things that you need to change if you really want to build that trust, right?
Right. Right.
So put a picture on, change your name. And then I said, and you have to stop sending question marks. Because really, I found, and I told him I found myself getting offended, but then I realized that you don't know.
He didn't know, right?
You don't know.
And Inga, you're so good at this. This is why you're such a great person, is that you did it in a respectful and in a calm, kind way. The kindness that I have friends that always talk about kindness, and you did it in a way that was respectful but kind, and he reciprocated. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes we'll turn off people before we do what you did, which is maybe they don't know, and I will explain it in a nice way. And if they don't respond well, then
Yeah.
there's some things you can do right. But if they do respond, oh, how much more have you won over someone and you made their respect and all of that? So
Yes.
I commend you for that.
Thank you. And I will tell you that it's because of Gail that I ended up doing it, because I always hear her saying, be
Mhm.
curious, not judgmental.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Right.
Right. So that's
Oh,
why.
so I have this. So it's going to Gail's point, and I have this thing. I used to have it on my emails when I worked at the university. I think I still have it on my LinkedIn profile, but it's a quote from Atticus Finch in the movie To Kill a Mockingbird, and the quote is about walking in someone else's shoes. So you're not judgmental, but you need to understand that people think and do things differently, and just if you walk in their shoes for a while, maybe you get a different perspective. It's about perspectives. And sometimes we don't have that other person's perspective because we don't have that other person's perspective. But just being patient enough to listen to the other side, I think it would help us in a lot of areas that as people.
Yes. And, just like I said earlier, where I am the result of the people that I've met and
Yes.
the experiences, and those are really unique to me.
Yes. Yes.
And that is why I have the perspective that I have on life, right? And
Yes.
you have your experiences, your people that have poured into your life.
Yes.
And so everybody is different.
Yes.
No
Everybody's different.
matter how the same
Right.
we are, right? How like we are.
And here's the deal: if you can learn how to enjoy the differences and not try to make everyone like me, I definitely don't want everybody to be like me because I've got a lot I've got a lot of flaws, but I love the differences. My wife used to say I have a tendency to gravitate toward, how do I say this in a nice way, people that are very different, that are unique, and they might be considered weird to some people, but for me it's like I want to get to know that person. I want to know why they're, but I'm not being like Gail was saying, like not being judgmental, but just getting to know them. And
Yeah.
boy, some of the Jose, the old saying, you can't judge a book by the cover, and you really can't. If you look at the cover of some people, I'll start with this one. There was a guy who used to go to our church, and he had this kind of tough, stern exterior. But once you got to know him, he was a wonderful guy. But he just had this face that looked like he was tough and gruff, but he wasn't that way. And so I learned from that one situation that you cannot judge people just by the way they look or by whatever, or you just can't do it. You got to get to know them, and it's just a beautiful thing.
It is. And, you don't know what they've
No, you don't
been
know what
through.
someone's going through, too. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. I
Yes.
knew where you
We
were
don't
going.
know. We don't know. And,
Yes.
I will, I'm not sure if he's watching, but my dad, a lot of the time,
Uh-huh.
people would be intimidated by him
Yes.
because of his sternness.
Yes. Uh-huh.
He has a very stern face.
Yes.
And yes, people would be intimidated by that and
Uh-huh.
not get to know him, but be more afraid. And then that's that, right? But really, at heart,
Uh-huh.
he's a softie, especially when it comes to kids.
Hey, I have to throw this one in here because my dad was like your dad. So my dad was this big man. If you can think of a man who's bigger than me, huge hands, gruff, stern exterior. But the two
Mm,
entities that really warmed up to him were animals, animals kind of know if you're, it's weird. and children would always get into that soft side of him. But most people were afraid of it because he just looked like a guy that you didn't want to mess with. So we have a lot in common there, Inga.
Yes, that's exactly
Yes,
what it was.
yes,
When I had male friends, they were very afraid of my dad. Oh,
yes.
it's
Oh
always.
my goodness. That
Um,
might have been a good thing. Those guys were going to make sure you were treated right.
yeah. So, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What is your life statement? Like, what do you live by?
Well, I'll go back to the faith that I believe in. I believe in a God who is everything to me, so that when these trials and these problems come, that's my focus. He's my resource. I know that I'm secure there. But also, I think what God has done is in my life put people around me and help me to believe that there are people that will help, and that people innately want to do right. You just have to help them in some cases. And so my life statement is based around probably those things. They're based around my faith, my devotion to my God, my hope, that I believe that we all have to have hope. And the last one is the belief in people, that there's you to reach people, but you can reach people, and people are more willing to be reached than we usually think they are. And so those things are my core. And then the last thing, I'll throw one more thing in there, is all about relationships. And people have heard me say this, that relationships are so important. You said the word trust, and I thought part of this networking thing is this trust. Businesses know that if they've done any kind of market research, this trust is at the core and center of things. But even when it comes to just relationships with people, it's about who do I trust? I trust Michelle Quick. I trust Melinda Huff. I trust Joe and Cherry. I trust. It's about that. And so anyway, and I'm throwing names out, but I hope I don't miss anybody. But yeah, that's my core, and it's what keeps me excited about opportunities, because even in the midst of things that we've experienced even in the last little bit, I can be encouraged that I've got work to do. There are people that need to be hopeful, and if I can bring some part of that to their lives, then I've done my work. And I've also done, like we said, with my mentor, I'm paying it forward, because that's what he would have done. So
that's
yes.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Something that people don't realize when they're interacting with others, engaging, sharing
Yes.
content, is that there's something called the know, like, trust factor, which is KLT. And it's, when you're sharing content, when you're engaging, what you're doing is you're allowing people to know you as a person.
Yes.
And then, as long as you share valuable things and
Yes.
not break anybody down, you
Yes.
allow that person, once they've gotten to know you, to like you.
Yes.
And then once they like you, they trust you, and then you
And
can
yes,
right, like,
then great things happen. Right.
yes,
Then yes.
journey. And
Yes.
the thing is, this no, like, trust factor, I was part of a Twitter chat last night, and something that I said, that people need to realize, is this: that no, like, trust factor is actually part of all relationships, whether it's business or personal.
True.
Right?
True.
Because when you build a personal relationship with someone,
Right.
it doesn't matter if you're going to be building a business relationship, but
Right.
even a personal relationship, those are the steps.
Right.
They need to
You
know
know them,
you, they need to like you, they need to
and they need
trust
to
you
trust you. Right.
before there's a bond, right?
Right. I
Um,
agree.
so okay, I see the comments are on fire. We're almost
Uh-oh.
approaching 1 hour,
Wow.
right?
I, it,
Before we go to the comments, let us just quickly talk about, what is your take on networking? How do you approach networking?
okay. So we've touched on it just a little bit, and I love your know, like, trust. If I've heard it before, it didn't register with me like what you just did. You're a great teacher, by the way, Inga. And so what I try to do, my whole thing on networking is, and because I don't have a metric or some kind of thing that I'm going to reach out to these certain people. And people have told me, you're pretty random in maybe your networking, and maybe that's just where I'm a random guy, I guess, in my head. But I do reach out, and I think it's like this, that I'll make a comment on something, and then people will reach out to me in lots of cases and say, can we connect, because what you said resonated with me. And it's going back, being genuine, being authentic. It's just who I am. I'm goofy as all get out. My wife would tell you that. And so but that's who I am. And so I wasn't always this way, but I'm much more comfortable in my own skin than I ever was. And so it's just, you take me or leave me, and more people are taking me. And so then it becomes, okay, let's get together and let's talk. Let's go through the know, like, trust scenarios. And then I get to trust really, really quick with people. People will understand. And empathy is my number one characteristic. So I'm empathetic. And once I hear your story, oh man, we're right there. Once I hear your story, it's like, oh, it's all over with. Then we're together. And here's the thing, and I'll stop with this. If I become your friend, and to me, it's never being about selling. It's about, if there's any selling, maybe I'm selling myself, but I'm selling my sincerity and my love and my joy for you. And then anything after that. So I always say, once you get me, you got me for life. I don't go away. If I don't hear from you, I don't worry about it. I keep sending out those messages, how you doing today or whatever, because I'm your friend, and I'm a friend. I'm a friend indeed once you get me. And that's just how I am. Maybe I'm hard-headed or stubborn that way, but that's just me. And so I have a random way of looking at networking, but it's usually through my comments and usually through things that relate to me. Because usually that when I talk to somebody or when I see something, it's something that resonates with me, and vice versa, I guess.
I love that. And it reminded me of a quote that I've heard by, I'm just looking for it. I can tell you. Yes, it's a quote by Anne Frank.
Yes.
And I want to read it for you. So it says, in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart.
Yes. Yes.
And it's a longer quote, like people usually only quote that part, but it continues by saying this: I simply can't build up my hopes on a foundation consisting of confusion, misery, and death. I see the world gradually being turned into a wilderness. I hear the ever approaching thunder, which will destroy us too. I can feel the sufferings of millions, and yet, if I look up into the heavens, I think that it will all come right, that this cruelty too will end, and that peace and tranquility will return again.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. And you think of the life that Anne Frank lived, especially toward the end of her life, and she still looked at people in that way. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And she's so right,
Yes.
In in my humble opinion, we all have goodness inside of us.
Yes.
And sometimes, we face so much ugliness that it starts to seep in a little bit. But if you bring a little bit of goodness that they maybe get from somebody else, it will then start to shift, and everybody is redeemable. That's how I believe.
That's how I look at it too. I had a phrase I used to say, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. everyone. I don't care what
Yes.
flag you wave or raise or fish you throw out. I give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and
Mm.
then, you go from there.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Um, and how has networking impacted you?
Networking has impacted me in so many different ways. We talk about the people on the screen and some of the people I just met a lady, a clinical professor yesterday, and it was like we had an amazing conversation. And I'm not looking for, again, going for the network and what I can get out of it. I look at just the relationships first, and then after that, things evolve. It's like, oh, I can help you with this, or I can help you with that. And I've had that happen again and again, that someone, maybe we connected, and then later on it's like they're going through a tough time. Okay, I know someone who can help you with that. So the networking for me has been it's been being able to connect other people, number one, but also being able to help people after you connect with them. And then my thing is always just encouragement during tough times, just encouraging people, they being able to encourage me, because there are days when I don't have that smile or I don't have that glow or whatever, and I need some help. And then
Yeah.
somebody will hit me with a message or a note, or they'll do a post, and it'll be like, that's just what I needed for the day. So networking is, again, going back to, we can't do this life by ourselves. We need other people, and the more great people. Oh, I've got one. So do the networking, and I go to the point where I say these people are my friends because they are my friends. And I saw a quote on a movie the other day, and the quote was perfect. The quote was, the movie was an old Western called Winchester 73. It's got not Gary Cooper, but it's got Jimmy Stewart. And the quote was, he said his father told him that if you have one friend, you're rich. And then he said, I'm very rich, because he had this one guy that just hung out with him all the time. Well, I will say this, I am super rich because I have friends that I know I can call on, and I know that they know they can call on me.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So, okay, like the comments on fire. So I just want to go to them quickly.
Yes.
Russ said, networking in the chat is
It's
awesome.
awesome. Because there are awesome people in that chat.
Yes, they are. They are.
Yes.
And Sonia Kenzie.
Sonia, one of my favorites. I met Sonia through a networking situation. We were learning how to market ourselves, and now Sonia we're friends first. Let me get that straight. But now she does slides and presentation pieces for me, and I'm her client because of that. But we are also friends. We always encourage each other. Awesome.
I love that.
Awesome.
Samantha says, oh, so sweet. Thank you, Inga and Calvin. I think she's speaking about when I wished a happy anniversary.
Yes.
And is this
Cherry?
One
she said the energy. Yeah. Cherry. Hey, now Cherry's one of these people I just met here recently, and her mom, they're partners. It's an amazing, they're in the UK, amazing team. And they just have awesome energy. You just feel it. I'm trying to help her mom Joanne with a survey, and I mean, they're just awesome people.
So okay, so they're Joe and Cherry from the UK, right?
Yes, Joe and Cherry from the UK. That too.
And please, I will say this again: if you're watching live and you and I haven't connected yet, please send me a connection request. Let's connect with one another and work towards mutual growth. And you never know what'll happen.
Right.
Michelle says, I always choose you two for my team. Thank you, sis. And then we have Michelle Hall. She says, yes, it's not about the fact that you fell down, but did you remain down or did you get up? Did you learn anything from your mistake when you fell down? And how did you deal with it? Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. It's about how we approach.
That's right.
What we're facing, right?
That's right.
Wow. Linda says, go ahead, you can
Practicing,
read it.
practicing gratitude is transformational. And yes, it is, Linda.
Yes. Cecilia, Lady C, wrote something for you, so please read it.
Oh, okay. To Calvin, I love watching athletes as well. They inspire me to keep pushing and not give up no matter what I'm facing. The goal is to succeed and to keep moving. And I'm not dependent on my own strength, but I draw strength from God. Awesome, Cecilia.
Amen.
Awesome.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Oh wow. Is shape to the bush? He's saying hi, I
You
guess.
got a smile, right?
Yes, let us know
Yeah.
where you're tuning in
Yeah.
from, please. Also
Yes.
good to see you. And Michelle Hall quickly says, grateful that I'm on the waking list every morning, that
Mhm.
every day is an opportunity for new beginnings. Grateful that every day I can impact lives. I love
Awesome.
that.
I love it
Yeah,
too.
my life statement is to positively impact the lives of others.
Yes.
And, every day, if I can impact one person, to me, that's enough.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Paying
Linda
it forward
says,
creates ripples around the paying it forward creates ripples around across the world. And it does. It does, Linda.
I love it. Katie,
Say, oh Lord. Oh, Katie's bringing us home. She's bringing it back home. Pop, pop. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Katie.
oh my gosh. Jonathan
Oh,
Kimbrough says, hello from the USA.
all right.
Hey, Jonathan. Um, wow. Katie says, yes, I say that I am the sum of
So
all my
all my
experiences,
experiences, good
good.
or bad or otherwise. I agree, Katie.
And yeah, this is for you.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love fellow weirdos. Thank you, Katie. You're talking about me. Yes. All right.
Oh my gosh. Michelle says one of the reasons I know I'm loved is that I have you too. So
What? That
those are two.
Michelle. So
I love you, sis. Really, I do.
she's so sweet.
She is. Sonia says, yes, you
You
can't
can't
judge
judge
people
people
just
how
for
they
how.
look. You cannot. You cannot. You
Yeah.
do people an injustice, a disservice when you do that.
I'm laughing, sorry, because
so
Michelle
so
says,
you say I'm weird. Wait a minute, Michelle. I didn't mean you. I'm
oh,
talking about me.
she says she is. She's local.
I'm loco. No.
Oh my gosh. Russ Hedge
It's
says,
too
keep
good.
smiling and have an awesome rest of
Hey,
your
thank
day.
you, Ross. Thank you for jumping in.
Yes, thank you. And by the way, Russ also says if we're friends for life.
Yes, that's it. That's the way it should be. The way
Yes.
it should
So
be.
so connect with him. He would be an
I will.
awesome connection for you for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Michelle Hall says that's true, Melanie. We don't have know people's story, and it's so easy to pass
So
judgment.
easy to pass
Yes,
judgment. Yes.
yes. Yeah. Melanie says yes, Michelle. We tend to do this. I have one of those stern faces. And I'll be honest, like you see me on my show,
yes.
I'm greeting my friends,
Yes.
but when I'm in public, I feel self-conscious, I guess. And so I also have that stern face and people feel like I'm unapproachable, but it's not that. It's just I'm shy actually, which is so weird. It's
well, I
really
well, I'm
weird.
shy, Inga. You wouldn't know it. I used to say I'll say was an introvert. I don't think I am anymore. I think I've switched over to the extroverted side. But I tell you what I have to do because it's not natural for me to always smile. But now that people have made these comments about your smile lights up the room, I have to, and I know I have to smile more because smile introduces things to people. You said it earlier. I wrote it down somewhere, and I got so many notes I can't even find it. But it's the smile. Oh, you said welcoming. So the smile welcomes you. It's universal. We have languages in this room. Probably I don't know how many languages, but the smile is a cross language. That if
Yeah.
you smile at someone, they know what it means. If you come at them like this, they might know a different way. But if you smile, it opens the door to something conversation or whatever. And so I have worked on trying to make myself smile a little bit more. And that's probably a good thing.
Mm, that's good. And I need to tell you, there's a new word. Um,
Okay. What?
the
What?
word, because, and I know this because I know exactly what you mean. I
Yes,
was
yes, yes,
very
ma'am.
introverted before, and
Yes.
I
There's
feel
a
like
new word. Okay, I got you.
the word is ambivert.
Ambivert. Now, is an ambivert somewhere in between, kind of
Yes,
cross there
yes.
at sir? Oh, that's me. Then I guess
That's me
I
too.
can be extroverted when I need to be extroverted, and then I
Yes,
like to be the wallflower when I want to be the wallflower. Gotcha.
yes, yes. And I
Ambivert.
honestly, there are days when I can just go somewhere and people
Yes.
watch. Just
Yeah.
watch people.
Yeah.
I don't need to interact. I don't need to participate. I can just
Yes.
be there on the sidelines. That's good
Yes.
for me.
Same
Oh
here.
my gosh. And Cecilia says, I love your guest, Inga. He is so real and easy to talk to.
Thank
This
you,
is a beautiful
Cecilia.
interview. Thank you. Thank you. And watch out,
Watch
people.
out.
Cecilia is going to be one of my guests soon.
I gotta
If you
be.
saw
Gotta
what,
gotta hear what she's got to say.
yes, she is
Yes.
awesome and very spirit filled, I will say.
Yes. Great.
Um, let's continue. Oh my word. I do want to get to wrapping up soon, but I just want to acknowledge what people said here. Sonia says, yes, the no like trust factor is major in the online space.
Yes.
Exactly.
She's got it. She's got it.
Exactly.
She's
And
got it.
Cherry says this for you.
What? Cherry, Calvin, you are honestly inspirational. What? Me? Building a personal relationship is super important. She's got it. She nailed some stuff. Cherry's got stuff down, and I'm not sure how young she is. She's very young, but she's old in spirit and wisdom. And she's got stuff it took me probably 40 or 50 years to get to. She's already got it.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Cherry.
Hold on. I'm gonna skip over some comments, but Michelle says it's not about selling, but building relationships and
Yes. Yeah.
impacting life.
Yes.
Exactly.
Eh,
Exactly.
yes. Yes.
Um, wow.
Wow. That's how
Wow.
Christ looked at it too. Everyone is redeemable. Amen, sister.
Yes, amen. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. That's right.
Salome Jacobs, she says, networking today is informative. Thank you. Yes,
Yes. Yeah.
it is. Salome, let's connect.
Slow me.
Networking is really important, especially in this day and age, because
Yes.
if you think about it, like, no man is an island. We can't do it on our own.
Well, and our world has gotten so much smaller. That's another thing that we've seen with this pandemic. I don't know that some people were aware of maybe certain regions and parts of the country, parts of the world, parts of the uh, hemispheres that they have become now kind of we've come condensed because I can pick up the phone or I can pick up a Zoom or do something and I can talk to Cherry and Joanne in the UK, or I can talk to someone in South Africa or someone in Australia. I may have to make sure I got my time zones right. I have messed up on those, but once I get that corrected or straightened out, then we're good. And so, it's amazing.
Yes, it's so funny that you say about the time zones because it's now become a habit for me to say, "Are you available at 9:30 EST,
Yes,
please?"
yes,
EST.
yeah, yeah,
Because, honestly, my show is global. Like, there are people
yes,
that tune in from all over the world.
yes.
I'm
I believe
so
it.
so grateful for that because, you know, learning about different things and different
Mhm,
kind of people,
mhm.
different cultures, it
Yes,
really unlocks the wealth of life.
it does. It does. I agree. I agree.
Sonia says, for you, so happy I was able to meet Calvin through our shared class. He's a
Oh,
human being.
thank you, Sonia.
And Eshetu
Thank
says, from Ethiopia, this is my first time, and I like where good vibes flow.
Yes, the good. We got some good vibes in this place right now. Yes.
Thank you for tuning in, Eshetu. So good to have
Thank
you
you,
here.
sir.
Melanie says she was afraid to do networking until she joined this. It's a group that we're part of. It's called
Okay.
Business Breakfast Club. It's actually based in South Africa. I think I may be the only international person in there, and it's just because of my connection
Yes,
with,
because of your connection to
yeah,
South Africa. Yes.
my
Awesome.
connection to South Africa, my connection to the person who founded BBC as well.
Gotcha.
So, um, wow. I don't know who this is, but they're saying, I've never been more vulnerable
Yes.
in my life and career, and to have found a network that I can be real with has been priceless for me.
This is great.
Oh my gosh, please, who are you?
we got to find out who this person is because this is good.
I'll
This is
go
good
back,
stuff.
I'll look
Yeah.
on LinkedIn, but like, if
Yes.
you and I are not connected, please let's
Yes.
talk.
Yeah.
I have a friend actually, I'm not sure if you know him, Calvin, but
Okay.
his name is Carl Sean Watkins. Do you know him?
Yes. And Carl does those shows. He got lives. He's real visible. Yeah, I know him. I got it. I know him.
Are you connected? Are the two of you
I
connected?
am connected because I get his stuff, so I know exactly when it comes on. Yes.
Awesome. And
Yes.
Carl speaks about vulnerability.
Yes.
He he's got it down pat. He really knows, because the thing is, what people don't realize is vulnerability allows you to connect with somebody on a deeper level,
Right.
because it goes beyond the facade that we show,
Right.
right?
Well,
Which is so important.
which is very important. And I'll add this piece in since I'm supposed to be a leadership guru type guy, and that is that the best leaders they show vulnerability, and it used to be the idea that leaders couldn't show any weaknesses at all, any whatever. I don't know where that came up or where that came from, but they're so wrong in terms of being able to do relationships right and being the kind of leader. Oh, I'll go back to who was it that said this is what Jesus did? Was it Katie?
Yes.
Uh, Jesus was that way. He was a vulnerable leader. And
Yes.
so to talk about being a leader, if you're helping people, you have to show your vulnerability. I have to go through that stuff too. And if I'm more real because I go through it, then I think people can relate to me because of that.
Yes.
Yes.
Katie said, you do yourself a disservice if you prejudge people.
Yes. Yes. Thanks, Katie.
Um, oh, Sonia commentary says, I do have a picture.
picture.
Not sure why it's not showing on the comment.
Oh man, yeah.
I'll tell you why. It's your
Yeah.
privacy settings on LinkedIn. If you go to it, you'll see like your profile picture is probably not public, and that's why it doesn't show up. And you can change the settings. Oh my gosh. Cecilia says, oh my word, I used to be an introvert.
Introvert.
When I tell my listeners, they actually laugh. Right? Because
Same thing.
yes.
Same thing with me, Cecilia. They had a name for me back when I was in college, and it wasn't because of the TV star The Rock. His name was because of he was built, but they called me The Rock because I didn't say anything. I was like a stone that never said a word. And now when I go back to those meetings, it's like, who is this guy? Is this the same guy? He doesn't have a fro like he had back in the day, but this is a different guy. Yeah.
That's cool. Because the thing is, we don't need to be the person that we were.
Yes.
10
And we
years
should
ago.
we shouldn't be if we've grown and evolved and adapted and grown. Yes, we need to be changing.
Yes, it's I believe that in life it's an evolution, right?
Yes.
You go through it's an evolution. You go through those changes.
Yes.
And we always need to strive to be the best version of ourselves.
Yes.
Always. Katie says, I have found that most girls with the resting B face are just shy. And I just approach them warmly.
Awesome. Katie.
Awesome.
Katie's cracked the code, but that's what us weirdos do, Katie.
Oh my gosh. Narayanan is one of my friends. He sends me messages. He's very consistent.
Yes.
We met on LinkedIn. and often talk in the DMs. But he
Uh-huh.
says, excellent program. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Nice to see you. Oh,
It's all
um,
due to that one. I got to throw it the other way. Yeah, that way. There we go. It's
you
all
know,
due to Inga.
StreamYard is crazy sometimes, like because like you have to.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm like, I got to point that way to get it to go that way. Yes.
Samantha says everybody will always say they will never know if I have problems because they always see me smiling or laughing. Then they say I laugh just the way you laugh. I guess I love just the way you laugh.
You laugh. Uh-huh.
And you know, the thing is, it's about how you face those challenges,
Right.
like we
It
said
is. It
earlier.
is.
And if
It
you
is.
approach it with a cheerful heart,
Mhm.
it's easier.
I think
Um,
so. I think so. I think it's been proven. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Wow. She says yes. Everyone sees the smiles, but they don't know what's going on behind the smiles.
Right.
You don't have to carry your problems on your face. You don't know who will need your
Right.
smile.
Right.
Exactly.
And
That
someone,
smile encourages others.
it does. It does. And someone needs your smile. Someone needs your smile today.
Yes, yes.
It's a small thing.
Oh,
Oh, Roxanne Reed. Roxanne. I don't know why, but I know Roxanne. She's terrific. So if you haven't connected, you have to connect with Roxanne.
I'm connected to her,
Oh,
and
great. Yeah.
but she and we've had challenges meeting, and
Uh-huh.
I hope you're feeling better, Roxanne.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in, and yes, please let's meet next week if we can. Awesome to see you here. Thank you, Roxanne. And wow, Shasti in the
Shasti.
garden, Caesarea says, lovely to be here from South Africa. I'm so glad and appreciate this networking.
Bless
Awesome.
you.
And Shasti, if you're not on LinkedIn, get on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and connect with others. It's such a beautiful opportunity.
Yes.
Uh, let's see. Oh, okay. And I think this is probably Roxanne saying behind every successful person,
There
there are
are.
many successful relationships.
Yes, I believe that.
And last comment from
Uh-oh. From
Sherry,
Sherry. You want me to read that one?
if you like, yes, please.
I will, Cherry. Vulnerability fosters good emotional and mental health is also a sign of courage. I feel it enables us to become more resilient and brave when we embrace who we truly are and what we are truly feeling. Sherry, can I borrow your quotes? Because you are just amazing.
That wow, that's beautiful. It
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 is
really
beautiful.
does. It really does foster.
Right.
When she says vulnerability fosters good emotional and mental
Yes.
health. Yes,
Yes.
because you're not putting up that facade. I mean,
Right.
if you watched earlier, Calvin became vulnerable and he got emotional, and then with me watching him and listening to him, I got emotional because I'm an empath. But it's so important because it shows that you're human,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
that's the most important thing when it comes to networking is show who you
You
are as
are.
a person, show your humanity,
Yes.
because that's how we connect.
That's how we connect.
So, wow, thank you to everyone who is still watching. Know that we truly appreciate you. I mean, we're approaching 1.5 hours.
Wow. And it
Woo!
seems like it's gone, like it's like woo, like the time just flew.
Yes, it really did. And so, Calvin, do you have any final thoughts for everyone that's still watching us?
Well, the final thoughts, if I can think of something that I don't know if I can think of something that's mind blowing or earth shattering, but I do know that I know that when you network, when you get together with other great people, you can't but become better at what you do. And it might not be career changing, but it may be personal changing, which anything that changes me personally is going to make my career shine. So everything interconnects. So when someone just wrote or
It's me. I,
when you network, you become better. You become better. you have to become better. And my word was, and I did this in a coffee shop, virtual coffee shop, was that we have this tapestry. And if you know anything about tapestries, on the front side, they're beautiful. On the underside, it's where all the other ugly strings are, but that's okay, because most of the times we're looking at the front beautiful part, but it's a beautiful tie-in to all of the people who are on the screen and the people that you'll meet, because you become part of this amazing tapestry that we need in this day and time to make things go the way they need to go, to encourage people, to keep people moving forward, and
Yes.
all of the successes. And each time one of those successes comes back to me, I'm more encouraged to go back out and do more. And I hope the people on the screen feel the same way as well.
Yes, exactly. I'm smiling because I often say that
Tapestry.
for me, my life is a tapestry.
Yes.
Everyone is a part of it. Everyone that I encounter in my life is a part of it. So
Yes.
thank you for being here. For if you're still watching, thank you, and thank you to you, Calvin. What an amazing episode. Wow, Samantha says, she says, thank you,
Thank
Inga
you,
and
Inga.
Calvin.
Thank you.
Cherry
Thank you.
says, thank you so much, both of you,
Thank you,
for today.
Terry.
Thank you for being here. And
Yes.
my sister,
Michelle, you're still here?
yes, thank you, sis, for being here, for supporting us. We love you, and
Thank
I
you.
think you know that, but we love you and we appreciate you. And everyone who's been watching and tuned in, thank you
Yes.
to Katie. She says, I urge you
Gail
both to look up
Dupree.
the world with
Yes.
me. I
Yes.
will.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone,
Thank
for
you,
being
Katie.
here. And thank you, Calvin. I'll send you back to the green room as I wrap up.
Yes.
I think this is Roxanne. She says, thank you. Looking forward to the next one.
Yes.
We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much and be blessed, everyone. I'll send you to the green room, Calvin, and I'll wrap up. So thank you. If you're still watching, thank you for your support. Words can't express how grateful I am for everyone that's been here, that's been supporting us, that's been watching and participating in the conversation. The next time you go to a networking event, whether it's virtual or in person, I encourage you to be curious, not judgmental. Because as we said earlier, somebody may be smiling, but you still don't know what they're going through. Somebody may be having that resting bee face that my friend Katie mentioned, and you don't know what they're going through, but just approach them and get to know them. You may be surprised by what you find out. So thank you for tuning in. Be blessed. Have an amazing Friday. Just acknowledging Cecilia, Linda, and Michelle. Thank you for your thanks, and know that we appreciate you more than you know. Be blessed, and I'll see you back here next week, Friday. Please note it will be a shorter session because I'm attending another networking session after that. But it'll just be me, and we'll be talking about the power of LinkedIn and networking on this platform. So be blessed, everyone. Have an amazing Friday, and I'll see you back here next time for another episode of Inspiration from Inga. And if you missed my intro video, I'll play it as an outro. So have an amazing weekend, everyone. Take care. I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here?